Guys, welcome to another series on Python tutorial for focus. So now in this series, in our last video, we do talk about how we can initiate the program called while loop. But in this series, we are going to be using this same while loop to build a simple car game. So now let me just get rid of this. Let's just say we want to build a simple console car game. So we want to use while loop to build a very simple console car game. Now, can we just get started, please? Now, at first, we can just print our statements. We can just format our code like this. Let's just format our code with print statements like this. Let's just do this. Let's just say simple car game. So let's say simple car game. Okay, so now below we have to create a variable. We can call the variable app, but this variable is a multi-string variable, so like this. So we can just say okay, 1 2 3, then just drop it like this. So we want to create a app variable. So this variable, what we are going to be doing here is we are going to be putting all the app menu in here. So start the car, so stop to stop the car. So now let's say we can just say quit to exit the game. So you can just say okay, now let's say we have on functionality to press the on, and then what's other thing, we can just say accelerating for ACC. Now we can just say accelerating to accelerate the car. So now we have the app menu set in a multiple string like this. So now we want to define our main program with while loop. So now let's just say while true. So in this code, we'll be saying that while true, so we specify the conditions to be while true. So while true means we don't need to specify any other conditions to make the while conditions to be true. So automatically you can just use while true directly. So now we are creating a new variable called an input. We are getting an input from the users. So we are getting an input from the user, and then the input it's a string, but we have to just do something like this: greater than, 3 greater than, and then give a space. So now let me run what's this code, how it works. Let's firstly look what we have here. So now do you see that we have a simple car game that is printed on the console? Then we have this screen. This greater than, 3 greater than here, and then we have a particular cursor that is pimping. So now we can just say okay, now start. Nothing seems to happen. Do you see that? So stop, then press enter. Do you see that the program continuing to be executing, but nothing seems to be working here. So the program is continuing to be executed because we are using while loop. So now let's stop the programs and let's continue with our code. So now we can now say that if, that means we want to make a conditional statement that if cmd, that means if what the user has entered or inputted is equals to start, that means if what the user entered is start. So we can just say print, we can just print it for the user that car started. So now we can now do some elif statements. We can now make some elif statements like this. So this elif statement will now be cmd, that means else if what the user does is not start and is stop. That means if what the user is entered is not start but is stopped. So we want to set car stop. So car stopped like that. So let's just try to put a space between. Let's format our codes to make it neat. So now another scenario that we want to set elif if what the users enter is equals to maybe on now, maybe the users entered press on now, so it should not be print then pm. Let's just on like that. Let's just draw our own like that, and then let's do some elif statements. Let's do some elif statement that said elif the user input, if the user input now is equals to quit. Now let's say the user before quit, let's just do acc before quit. So let's just do acc, so we can just say print that the car is accelerated. So the car is accelerated. So we can just perform elif cmd equals to what do we have in our help menu? We have start, we have stop, we have quit, we have on, we have acc. So now this time around it's going to be quit. Now that means if the users entered quit, if the user entered the word quit, what should happen? So it should now this scenario we are going to be making use of nested if statements. Nested if statements. And what do I mean by nested if statement? We have done that in the previous studio, that the rules is grandfather, father and son. So now nested if statement is now this cmd2. We can just name this one cmd2. So we can name this cmd2 and get users input again here. So why are we doing this? Why are we making another this thing? So but no, let's do it this way, guys. So let's say, do you want, let's the program ask the users questions. So do you want to assist the game? Now let's do it that way. Now let's put such question mark there now. So instead of getting the inputs like these formats like the previous command, so now let's make this input to be like, do you want to assist the game, like this. So now we now say that you will now make some nested if statement, that if cmd2. Now if cmd2, that means if what the users entered is equals to yes. Let's say if what the users enter is equals to yes, then we can just say print statement that said thanks for playing the game. So now thanks for playing the game. Now do you see that? So we now say that then there's a particular keywords that we discuss in our 36 Python keywords then. So the keywords is called break. So we can use break to break out the loop. That means we can use this keywords break now to stop the loop from working. So after executing all this code, the loop is now stopped, so nothing is going to be working again. So now we want to make an else statement for this elif, and that means if what the users entered is not yes, if this what the user enter here is not yes, so else what the users enter, now we can just say continue. That means if the user enter no as his own option, so this continue keywords now we now continue the loop. Now we now start working again compared to all the rest of the functionality here now. So now what actually happened in this nested if is we get an input from the users inside this. If the command that the users entered is quit, so inside this quit, so we now get another input that said, do you want to assist the game? So we now say that if what the users entered into this function is actually yes, so we should now have this program to be executed that thanks for playing the game, and then the loop will stop when it gets to this break. Else if the user enter no, not yes, so the loop should not stop, should not break, but rather continue to be working. Now let's now make a final else statement for the main program itself. So let's say you make a final statement that said print invalid command entered, kindly type, sorry, we need to use two quotes like this. because we started with single code, so we have to use this one. Kindly type app. Kindly type app to show the to show the app menu. So now this command said else statement. That means if all the command that the users entered here is not equals to start, it's not equals to stop, it's not equals to it's not equals to acc, it's not equals to quit. So maybe it enter another command that is not here. So the program should now yell at the user that, hey, you entered an invalid command. Kindly type help to show the help menu. So now let's run this code. Let's see how this code really works. Now do you see that? Now in the first input, now let's enter. Now we don't know any program that we want to type, so let's assume that user has no idea of what the command that the user might enter. Now let's now say that maybe we just type anything that has to do with this. So nothing, invalid command. No, sorry, we made a simple mistake. Is this app, we are not calling this app. So now before this quit, now let's define the app here. Let's define the app here. Let's say if what the user entered is equals to app, that means if users type app like this, so what should happen now? Let's now print app variable like that. So we want to print this above variable that we have here. We are printing the above variable here, then we are now printing it here. So that is the reason why you are seeing that. So now let's now run the code again. Stop and rerun. So now let's say we don't want to know the command. Let's say the user doesn't know what to enter in the program. Now let's say KD or anything. Then you see that invalid command enter. Kindly type help to show the help menu. So now we have the instruction now. So now let's type help to show the help menu. Now do you see that immediately we just type help? Do you see that we have an help menu that shows that start to the car, so stop to stop the car, quit to assist the game, so on to press down. So now the user knows what next to do in this game. So now let's say okay, now I know that start can work, then car has started. Now we say that car started. So now let's say stop now. Now car stop again. So now let's start the car again. Now the car has started again. Now let's press ACC to accelerate. Now the car is accelerated. Are you getting it, guys? So now let's say on. Now let's execute on command. Now this is that pim is executed. So we have pim. So the car is owning. So now let's now go to the quit. Now to quit the game, let's say quit. Now do you see that we have a second input under this command, which is a nested if statement that said, do you want to assist the game? Now it's now asking for user's opinion here. So do you want to assist the game? Now let's say yes, we want to assist the game. Then do you see that thanks for playing the game, and then the code execute finish. So that means it break out from the loop. That means it stopped the loop from working now. Now let's run the code again. Let's just click here to rerun the code again. So rerunning the code again from here, let's say start. Now this is car started, then stop, car stop, then we can start the car again, car started. So now let's now say quit. Now let's say quit to quit the game. Now do you see that? Do you want to assist the game? Let's say no, I'm not assisting the game now. So now do you see that the game starts again? So we can have ACC, now the car is accelerating. That means the game is not assisting. So now if we just say quit again to assist through the game, then we can have yes. Now the game has stopped, nothing is working again, so everything is worked perfectly. So now this is our source code for a very simple car game. So guys, I want to give you a simple classwork. So the classwork that you are going to do for me is, now you notice one thing. When I run the code like this, when I say car start, now do you see that car started, and I do start again, now do you see that car started again? So you can't start car twice. So now let's try to build a program that anytime I run start again like this, then the program should yell at me that the car has already started entirely, so you don't need to start the car twice. So now let's say stop. Now do you see that I have car stop, then let's say stop again. Do you see that car stopped. So the car has already stopped, so car can't stop twice. So now I want you to add your own personal functionality to this start and stop in order for the program to yell at the users that the car has already started while you are starting the car twice, and then or the car should yell at the users that the car has already stopped while you are stopping the car again. So guys, I will do the corrections in the next video. So guys, thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.